Through These Doors is sponsored by Shields.
Okay, we're giving it to him. Bottom pad counts, I guess.
No, that didn't count. His cheeses didn't count.
Okay.
Brad Berry and Dane Jackson have seen it all during their time at UND, from their own time on the ice to hanging an 8th national championship banner.
You can prepare all you want until you become that head coach when you have to make all the decisions. And then our first year winning a national championship, that just doesn't usually happen. And that goes to the fact that we had great leadership, great coaches, great leadership, and great players in the fact of doing it. But you know, every year is different, and there becomes challenges every year. And I think what I've done over the last 3 years is learn from those experiences, good and bad, and knowing that situations that arise, I've done things what I would have done, and I've done things which maybe I would have done differently.
I always really enjoy spending time with the guys, the individual skill stuff, and just getting to know the guys on a personal level. You know, I think it's a big deal if you kind of have a bond as far as getting to know guys, what makes them tick. You know, then you can trust each other, and that's when they're going to kind of accept your coaching. If you're just trying to pass on hockey knowledge, you know, I think they'll take it, but I think it means a lot more when you're kind of getting to know them as a person and trying to help them with things off the ice, or when things aren't going well, you're trying to relate to them. And we are, you know, I'm getting older since I was first here. I think I was 35 or 36 when I first came here, and that was, I guess, 12 seasons ago. So, you know, you got to realize it's kind of nice having Smaby and Ulmer as we're getting older, that you have other guys that are, you know, relating closely with the guys.
While their coaching style hasn't changed much, the program itself has made improvements over the years.
Our area downstairs, you know, obviously our nutrition and the way we do things off ice has changed greatly, you know, in the last 6 years. I don't think a whole lot culturally has changed within our group. Kind of the things that we're based on as team first and hard work and having a mentality of, I don't know, just having a close, tight team, and we do. And those are the things that remain constant. I think things change from year to year. It seems like recruiting has changed, getting younger all the time. But we have the way we recruit, you know, as far as what we want in a player, remains the same. So I think it's inevitable. There's a lot of changes that go on within year to year, but I think what we remain is constant on who we are and what our culture is.
I think obviously his authority has changed quite a bit, but I think as a whole I don't think he's changed much. I think that that was one of his big things, becoming the head coach, was, you know, he was going to stay, you know, like that father figure. You know, head coaches are sometimes more strict or more, you know, uptight, and he just kind of stayed the way he was, and I think we kind of respected him for that, because it didn't change our relationship with him as a coach.
Yeah, it's been a little bit different. It was nice for me, because when I was coming in here, I was getting recruited by Bubs. He was the guy that I talked to the most, I would say, out of all the coaches. So when he took over, it was a nice, smooth transition, and he made sure to say, you know, I recruited you, and now I got the head coaching job, and you got an opportunity to be the starting goalie.
As far as how things have changed, I think our guys get, it's a whole other level, I think, of how our guys get treated. We got treated really good. Our program was great when I was here from 88 to 92, but I think just as far as the kind of the investment of what the university puts into our guys, about how we travel, how we eat, you know, what we're allowed to do recruiting-wise, it's they've really invested in our program to a whole other level, I think. You know, I know when Gino and Blazer and Marksy and those guys were running the program, it wasn't nearly funded the same way. You know, we had a great building, and we were a top program, but I think just the way that our university has made an investment in our team, it really shows just in how we run things on a day-to-day basis.
There have been many changes along the way, showing growth within the program. But one thing remains the same.
I would say just tradition, you know, just you realize when you're here that this is a special place that has had a lot of special people that have put a lot of blood, sweat, and tears into this program to get it to where it's at. And just kind of the team first attitude that comes through of our culture is just, you can kind of feel it when you step in our room and what's expected. You know, when freshmen come here and new guys come here, they realize that nobody's bigger than the program. It's always team first, and there's a high level of accountability, and I think our tradition, the people that came before us, the winning and the national championships kind of holds you accountable to say, we can't be coming in here and floating around or resting on our laurels. You know, we got to build on a day-to-day basis, because everybody in college hockey is doing such a good job, and everybody's recruiting hard, and everybody's coaching well, and it's getting closer and closer, I think, all the time. And if we're resting on our laurels, we're not gonna be at the top anymore. And it just comes down to, I think, the work and the accountability of kind of lending to the culture and the tradition of the people and players that came before us.
During the bye weekend, the players used the time to get healthy and bond as a team before hitting the final stretch of the season.
We had a lot of fun on bye week. It's a week that you look forward to in the season, especially when you got some guys banged up. You get to get them a little bit more rest, and you know, really get everybody healthy for that the last push that we have here. With I think we got 8 games remaining before playoffs. So bye week was fun. We had a lot of fun. It was nice to kind of turn your mind off for a week. You just get to kind of relax, and you don't have to do anything too dramatic.
After the bye week, North Dakota is able to stay at home as the team goes to battle with Colorado College this weekend at the Rock.
You know, one of the things that we know that Colorado College is, it's a much improved team that has a lot more skill in their lineup, and it's one of those things now, the parity in our league is at the highest that it's ever been, and you can't leave your foot off the gas coming into this weekend. Coming out of the bye week, I think we recharged and reset mentally and physically, so that'll be a benefit for us, knowing that we have to push the last 8 games here.
One of the major goals of the weekend for the team is to shake loose of its 5-game winless streak.
You know, we played them pretty well out there. We lost a game on Friday and came back and won one on Saturday. So I think just learning from what we did out there on Saturday and understanding what they are as a team, and you know, really using these last 2 weeks off to prepare ourselves. And I think we're ready to go. We're excited to this final push.